Hi, as you said, we're here with Dr. Troy Dreiling of Absolute Chiropractic. How are you doing again?
Good, Kelly.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Great. We're going to be talking today about getting older. And you say you have a roadmap to becoming 100.
Yes.
I'm game. I'm looking forward to it. My game plan, personally, was to be 100 and I think 15 was what it was. So I've got a ways to go, but what can I do?
Well, you know, just to start off, George Burns, they were asked how he got to 100, and he said, "Well, make it to 99 and then be very careful for the next year."
Loved him.
So that's kind of the introduction
funny.
for today. But I was recently at a conference. It was called the 100-Year Lifestyle, and I went, "Wow, this is very interesting," because the research they went through, the population right now, they estimate is growing at 34%.
Wow.
Just the regular population.
Okay.
And that's in the next 30 years. They estimate the people making it to 100 will be 746% more over the next 30 years. So that's a huge spike in that population.
Yeah,
They're also estimating that 1 out of 2 children will make it to 100. And before we started the show today, you were talking about, 100 years ago, life expectancy was 50.
Right.
So, you got the John Waynes that say, I can do whatever I want, I'm only going to make it to 50 anyway, it doesn't matter how I take care of myself.
Right.
And that was, then they would wake up going, oh my gosh, they're 55 or 60, things aren't working, they're in a walker, maybe they're in a nursing home, they've got to have some sort of assisted care, and they never thought they would have lived this long. So now we realize that people are actually living longer, not necessarily because of medical intervention, because number one, people aren't getting sick like they used to.
Right.
Or if they got sick, they're getting well, and they're getting over those things, so they're living longer. And so as a chiropractor, I want to be there to help, because we know and people know that we're 37th in the world for health. We have the highest infant mortality of any nation on the planet.
Really?
Yep.
I did not realize that.
So as a country, we spend more money on healthcare than any other country, yet we're the sickest. So something's got to change. And as a chiropractor, and with you in this show, our mission is to help people realize how to get plugged into a healthier lifestyle.
Definitely.
So you're walking on the beach with your wife at 95 or 105, and you're having a good quality of life. That's really what it comes down to.
Walking on the beach with my wife at 105.
Wouldn't that be cool?
I could see that.
That's a good visual.
That's a good visual.
So one of the things I did the other day with the patient, we were talking about this with you, but everybody always thinks that disease is genetic.
Yes,
they're
that's
like,
what we're taught pretty much.
It's genetic,
Right.
And so in Japan, they say only 5% is genetics. The other 95 is lifestyle. In the US, they say 30% is genetic, 70% lifestyle. Bruce Lipton, who's a PhD researcher, he says 1% genetic, the other is environment or lifestyle. What environment you put your cells or your body in. So when we start looking at this whole lifestyle, will the chiropractic philosophy get people in alignment with that? And absolutely yes, I see it all day long. Okay,
what is your map then? You have 5 points on your map. What are they?
Well, first, before we talk about that, I want to bring up this gal that I was talking about, came in, had massive headaches. We looked at her low back. She had low back pain. Her legs were going numb. She also had digestive problems. And as you know, the nerve system in that area controls digestion.
Sure.
She had very painful menstrual cycles, and her legs were going numb. So we knew there was some blockage there. So I said, okay, you're 22. That's what I asked her. You're 22 years old. I said, how old was your oldest grandparent? She said 92.
Okay.
So I said, okay, you have a minimum of 70 years remaining, potentially, because you have their genetics.
Right.
And if you get your genetics in alignment with a good lifestyle, you'll make it another 70 years. I said, but with the way things are going, how's that next 70 looking?
Ooh.
She got really scared. She's like, I better do something. I said, yeah, let's show you how to get well. And so there's 5 key components.
Okay.
The first, especially with her, with the low back, the legs going numb, the digestive problems, also in her upper back, her fingers were going numb, headaches. She was having breathing problems at 22. And she was on multiple medications. So first things first, we've got to find out where the roots are being disconnected, if you will. We were talking earlier before the break. I showed her this tree.
Yeah.
One side, healthy vegetation on one side. The other side, that you can see the roots. It's kind of like it looked like the tree in the fall. And I said, which tree do you feel like? She's like, the one in the fall. I go, which one do you want to be? She said, the green one. I said, well, the spine, the nerve system, is the roots that feeds the tree.
That's a great analogy. I like that.
And she went, oh, I said, so first thing we got to do is find out where your roots are being blocked. And we took x-rays of her, complete loss of curve in her neck, lost the majority of the curve in her low back. So first thing, we got to get her on a corrective care program to correct the nerve system to get it functioning.
Definitely.
So that's number one.
That's number one.
Number two, now we got to start, we've talked before about this whole food nutrition.
Definitely. We got the whole foods.
Whole foods, you know, you know, we say get off the sugars, minimize the sugars. You've got all these high fructose corn syrups and different things out there. We got to get off
everything.
Any sugars. And then we start putting better fats in.
Got to have some. Your body needs some of it.
Needs fat for fuel. And then we were talking earlier before, we got to have better protein, like the grass-fed animals. You know, not the corn-fed or the grain-fed animals. It changes the fatty acid ratio, and we create more inflammation in our body. So we got to improve our nutrition. Number three, we got to eliminate or reduce toxins. And everybody says toxins.
Right.
What are toxins? They're everywhere. They're in your makeup. They're in your toothpaste.
It's in everything.
They're in the water you drink. So we always got to be looking to eliminate those toxins. And medication's a huge toxin. You know, if I can show patients how to improve their health and function better, and need less medication, I'm helping them reduce their toxins.
Definitely.
So that's number three. And then the fourth one is we got to get them doing some sort of exercise.
None of this couch potato attitude.
No.
You know, we got to get up and do something. Your body's made to do something, not sit around. Well, I agree.
There is a lady I saw on TV one time. She was a professional eater. She would go to these contests and eat.
That's just not healthy.
She would eat 14,000 calories a day. And so I was watching the show, but every 5 minutes she was exercising with some weights because she would always be eating this food. She was and she was thin. And I went, interesting. So even though she was sitting around watching TV on the couch, she was always doing something every 5 minutes. Wow. So I thought that was fascinating. So it's not necessarily the amount of food you eat, it's the activity. You know, no matter what activity you have, you got to keep your calories going.
Moving. So number one,
we got the nerve system, we got the spine, we got to keep that function. Chiropractic's the key.
Number two?
Number two is better quality nutrition, whole food nutrition.
Okay.
You know, the natural way is the best. Number three, we got to eliminate the toxins. Okay. We got to reduce the chemicals we're putting in our body. Right. Number four, we got to exercise, lean muscle, we got to get oxygen in there. And then number five is mindset.
Oh, definitely the mindset.
Definitely mindset.
We were always taught when I was younger, your parents are getting older, oh, they got to slow down, you're getting old, you know, just take it easy. I graduate with people, I don't believe I graduated with them because they've given up. Their mindset is, I'm getting older.
Right.
I can't do this anymore. I'm not saying go out and be dangerous, but you don't have to stop. Your life is what you want to make it. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
That's a great attitude to have. That's a great roadmap, actually. And the mindset, I think, is one of the biggest obstacles because your mindset's about not exercising. You're getting too old. What you eat, because we're being bombarded by what we should eat by everybody else.
Yep.
So I think it's great.
Yeah. So lining up with a chiropractor who has that approach and philosophy will help people get there faster, sooner, with less pain, less discomfort, no matter how old they are. If they're in their 70s, never been to a chiropractor, great time to come in, get checked to make sure that their body's working properly. We always say from womb to tomb, basket to casket.
Basket to casket. Well, I like it. I like your roadmap, and I hope we're all working on it.
Excellent.
Everybody should go to your chiropractor, as we always say. I think they have the answers, and that's a great roadmap to 100 or longer. I'm looking at 115. What are you looking at?
102.
There you go. I'll meet you there.
All right, thanks
again, Dr. Troy.
Thank you.